In April 1861, on the Tara plantation near Atlanta, Georgia, the Tarleton twins, Stuart and Brent, delivered two pieces of news to the owner's daughter, 16-year-old Scarlett. Firstly, a war between the North and the South is imminent. Secondly, Ashley Wilkes will marry Melanie Hamilton, announced at the Wilkes reception the next day. Scarlett, who loves only Ashley, shares her feelings with her father, Gerald O'Hara. He considers them an imperfect match, citing Ashley's unconventional interests. At the Wilkes reception, Scarlett hopes to change Ashley's decision but fails. Ashley remains resolute in marrying Melanie, emphasizing their compatibility. Rhett Butler, present despite rumors about him, witnesses Scarlett's frustration. Scarlett, furious, discovers Rhett was napping nearby and vents her anger before storming away. War rumors confirm, and young men prepare for battle. Ashley and Melanie plan to marry on May 1st. Despite them, Scarlett weds Melanie's unremarkable brother, Charles, a day before Ashley's marriage. Charles dies 2 months later from pneumonia, leaving Scarlett a widow with a son, Wade. In 1862, Scarlett moves to Atlanta, reluctantly embracing her grieving widow status. At a charity bazaar, she encounters Rhett Butler, a cynic who sees through her motives. Scarlett's engagement ring removal during a fund collection draws attention. Captain Butler buys a dance, causing local gossip. Scarlett remains in Atlanta, conflicted by her feelings for Ashley and attraction to Butler. After defeats at Gettysburg and Vicksburg, Ashley goes missing, and Melanie grieves while carrying his child. Rhett Butler, still in Scarlett's life, mentions waiting for her to forget Ashley's kiss, sparking Scarlett's rage. Rhett confesses his desire for Scarlett but refusing marriage, proposing a mistress arrangement. An argument ensues and Scarlett demands Butler to leave. Amid Atlanta's battle, Melanie goes into labor, but Scarlett struggles to find a doctor amid the increasing wounded. Scarlett aids in Melanie's childbirth with her maid Prissy, then resolves to leave war-torn Atlanta for Tara. Rhett Butler helps them escape, but instead of joining them, he opts to stay and fight with the defenders. The journey to Tara is challenging, and upon their return, they find chaos. The Wilkes estate is burned, Tara is plundered. Despite the despair, Scarlett is determined to save Tara. Restoring life on the plantation proves difficult, with northern forces taking away what little remains and setting the house on fire. The Southern Army surrenders, and news arrives from Ashley, he is returning. Melanie and Scarlett eagerly await his arrival in Tara, but he is nowhere to be found. Finally, Ashley appears, but Melanie is the first to greet him. Post-war life proves challenging as Reconstruction policies burden Tara with high taxes, risking auction. Scarlett turns to Ashley for help, but he's unsure. Desperate, Scarlett seeks aid from Rhett, jailed by new authorities. Scarlett visits him in prison. He understands that she has come to him for money. Offended that Scarlett is interested only in his money, Butler ironically advises her to show more warmth the next time she seeks a loan from a man. That's exactly what she does. Scarlett targets Frank Kennedy, smitten with her younger sister, and marry him for financial stability. Scarlett fully immerses herself in business. She manages Frank's store and, borrowing money from the newly released Butler, she acquires the very lumber mill that Frank had set his eyes on. Soon, she buys a second mill, and her business thrives despite societal disapproval. Returning to Tara for her father's funeral, Scarlett learns of Ashley's intention to move to New York. Scarlett persuades him to stay by offering a job at the lumber mill, aided by Melanie's influence. Faced with declining productivity from freed black workers, Scarlett turns to cheap convict labor for the lumber mill. Frank, an honest man, is horrified, but Scarlett stands her ground, insisting it's the only way to make a profit. The lumber mill managed by Ashley, however, doesn't generate profits as he adamantly refuses to use convict labor. The Ku Klux Klan is formed in response to persecution, with Frank and Ashley joining. A trap threatens their lives, but Butler intervenes, saving Ashley, but Frank dies, leaving Scarlett a widow again. Rhett proposes to Scarlett, and they move to New Orleans before returning to Atlanta. Scarlett gives birth to a girl, but crisis ensues when she declares she won't have more children. Rhett's increasing absence and alcohol use strain their relationship. Approaching Ashley's birthday, Melanie plans a celebratory reception. The day before, Scarlet meets with Ashley in her office, and the conversation turns to the past. Memories of pre-war days and hopes bring tears to her eyes. Ashley tries to comfort her, embraces her, and unfortunately, outsiders witness the intimate moment. Soon the news reaches Melanie and Rhett. Scarlet refuses to attend the reception, but Rhett forces her almost against her will. However, Melanie, who doesn't believe the malicious gossip, welcomes Scarlet warmly. Upon returning home, Rhett gives into jealousy. Rhett and Scarlet find themselves in bed together, leading Scarlet to believe Rhett loves her. However, he's absent the next morning, hinting at an affair. Then Rhett leaves for 3 months, and upon his return, Scarlet informs him that she is pregnant. Rhett's sarcasm offends her, igniting a quarrel that culminates in tragedy. Scarlet falls down the stairs, resulting in a miscarriage. Life returns to its familiar routine. However, a new misfortune befalls the family. Rhett's beloved daughter Bonnie falls off a horse and dies. The relationship between the spouses becomes even more formal. Scarlet leaves Atlanta, but a telegram from Rhett urgently calls her back. Melanie dies. Doctors had forbidden her to have more children, but she disregarded their warnings, desiring to give Ashley another child. On her deathbed, Melanie asks Scarlet to take care of her son and Ashley, as he is so impractical. She also urges Scarlet to be kind to Rhett, as he loves her deeply. Now that Melanie is gone, Scarlet suddenly realizes how lonely she is and how much this woman meant to her. Scarlet makes another discovery. It seems that she never loved Ashley Wilkes but rather her dream of a strong, unyielding man. Scarlet realizes how much Rhett means to her. She is eager to tell him about it, but she is about to face another disappointment. Rhett listens indifferently to her confessions and states that he no longer cares. His love for her has faded, just as Scarlet's love for Ashley has waned. Rhett Butler confesses that he loved her from the moment he saw her, and no matter how hard he tried to rid himself of thoughts about her, he couldn't. He never lost hope that she would eventually appreciate his feelings, understand how well they suited each other. Yet, all his efforts to convey his love to Scarlet proved futile. Rhett announces his intention to leave for a long time, perhaps to England, and promises to return occasionally to avoid giving cause for gossip. In response to Scarlet's desperate question, "What about me?" Rhett sighs and replies that he no longer cares. Alone with herself, Scarlet reflects on what she has just heard. It is very difficult for her, but her self-resilient nature refuses to admit defeat. Scarlet is convinced that not everything is lost, and if a solution doesn't come to mind now, tomorrow she will surely find a way out.